and you're listening to Instant Reboot with Oriah Mirza. Oriah, take it away.
Welcome to my new show. I'm so glad that you're here with me today, that I can share with you what I've been doing for the last 10 years as a life coach. And I've been helping people to living a fully aware life looks like. If somebody says, I would like to live through my intuition, I would like to be guided by my own intuition, I would love to self-heal, I would love to just take care of this serious ailment I have, or this issue that I'm having, like with migraines or inflammation or any kind of dis-ease or imbalance in the body. And you say to yourself all the time, I wish I can just be done with this. I wish I can just heal myself. And you try everything. You go everywhere. You go to doctors, you go take medication, you go to healers, you try everything in the world to try to heal, and you're still not healing as fast as you want to. And you wonder why. And the reason why is because maybe you haven't looked deep enough into the building blocks of your creation, of how you create yourself. Maybe you haven't gone in to the point of the source where you make your decisions about your life, where you make your decisions about how you feel about yourself, how you feel about your environment, how you feel about your partnerships, your relationships, how you feel about your self-image. Maybe you haven't looked deep enough to see and find out that these areas are so powerful, these hidden pockets that we hide within ourselves, these decisions we've made from years and years ago. We just don't know how to access them. And we don't know how to discover who we really, really are at this core network, this core belief system area inside of us. We don't know where to go. How do you find it? How do you unlock it? How do you discover it? How do you find out who you really are? How do you find out what you're creating? So if you're in this quandary and if you're asking yourself these questions, you came to the right place. This show is about how to unlock your hidden truths, your hidden wisdoms, how to unlock your ability to heal yourself, your ability to instantly reboot your life. And I've been a life coach for over 10 years, and my story is one of those stories that if I were to go into my background, I would probably need at least 6 hours to describe what I've been through. But to give you a short version, I'm 43 years old. I've been married 5 times. I have 5 children, and 3 with one father, 3 with another. Everybody always wants to know that. And I have been through severe violence. I've been through loss of family members. I've been through alcoholism for 13 years, almost dying from alcoholism. I have been through PTSD at the levels where I was walking in and trying to check into any institution or place that will take me because I wanted to kill myself. My children were taken from me, and that was one of the reasons I wanted to kill myself. I have been through severe health crises. I've had organs almost shutting down. I've had toxic syndrome many times. I've had my blood levels were dangerous. The balance was off in my blood. I've had glandular issues, adrenal issues, total burnout by the time I was 36 years old. I lived too hard and fast. I just was surviving through inner cities and trauma, and I thought it was just the end of the road for me. I just thought that there's no hope. And I tried everything, and I was giving up when I met my current husband, who was teaching this work, but also he was wanting to heal me and help me because he saw how much I had to fight to live still. And that is when I learned about healing the body. In my last phases of cleaning my system out and understanding how energy works and understanding how the systems in your body function with your consciousness, and how your body's conscious and it's one with you and you are one with it. As I was learning about this, I discovered that not only could I heal my body, but I knew that I could heal other people. And I tried it, and I just could not believe the results. People were telling me it worked, and all I did is I just asked them, would you willing to believe that you are creating your ailments, you are creating your dis-ease, you are creating your imbalances in your body? Are you willing to believe it? If you are willing to believe it, you can do anything, because belief has so much power. And as you know, anything you believe, it comes true. I mean, it just does. If you don't believe it, test it out and you'll see it. You can't escape it. So I healed myself completely to the point where I have hundreds of clients now. So speaking of one, she just joined us, and I'm so pleased to have her on the air with me. I've known her a long time, but we stopped talking for a while, but we just reconnected, and she has done some tremendous healing of her own, and she's still working on things that we would like to discuss today. Her name is Lisa. Hi, Lisa.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Oriah.
Hi. So you got on. Great. So
yes, can you all hear me clearly?
Yes, I can hear you great. And we're just working out the bugs on our first show, but I think we're all good. So I was just explaining a little bit about what I do, and it is such a vast area when you talk about self-healing. So I know that I've spoken to you a few times about it, and I've asked you what you feel about self-healing, and you have already come quite a long ways in your own self-healing. But could you share with us a little bit about your story and what brought you to the place where you are now experiencing this severe gluten intolerance?
Absolutely. One of the things I think, first of all, I'm so grateful to be here and to be able to be reconnected with you and to be able to explore further self-healing. But before my own awakening and understanding what was going on with my body, I was just faced with an enormous amount of pain, physical pain, emotional pain, spiritual pain. And I believe, honestly, that it was beginning to, and is still at times manifesting itself in physically how my body reacts to various foods and maybe toxins in the air. I'm not really sure. But one of the things I've come to understand is that I have an incredible or perceived intolerance to gluten. And I believe that part of the manifestation of this intolerance to gluten, and maybe some other things, when we journey, we'll probably figure out there's some other things making me uncomfortable, was that I was just an enormous amount of emotional pain. And not having some of the tools and outlets that I have now, I think that it was sort of like a train out of control. And that physical pain and the emotional pain was then allowed to fester and to create situations within my body that now I believe that this is the residual result of those issues emotionally in my past that are now, this is sort of like what I feel like is the last leg. So essentially what I'm trying to do is like move this sucker through so that I can get on with having like this beautiful life that I'm working every day at having, and a beautiful me. And so where I am right now is at a place of healing emotionally and spiritually in different areas of my body. But there is still a tremendous issue, and I have faith and confidence in healers. I don't have actually as much faith and confidence in Western medicine as I did in the past, only because I was willing to try it and it didn't help me. So I turned to healing and to self-healing and to healers like you, because my confidence in this area is greater and higher, and that's why I'm here.
Wow, that is so inspiring. And for many people that are listening, some people could relate to you and see exactly where you are, that they are also in that place and don't know how to just finish the last tail end of something that they've been working on. And then yet there's other people just tuning in that have no idea that they can self-heal, and they're just maybe coming out of Western medicine, or they're looking for alternatives and nothing's working. So this is perfect because we're going to cover all these different areas. But first, I have some questions for you. I'd like to go a little bit deeper into some of your day-to-day symptoms that you have right now. And if you could describe, like in a week, what does your ebb and flow look like? What does your diet look like? What are your symptoms? If you can explain that.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. I know it all too well, actually. It's such a reliable, painful rhythm. Essentially, like the underlying issue here is that my GI moves has a very slow stasis. So basically what that means is that my GI moves at a snail's pace, whereas a healthy GI or gastrointestinal system moves pretty quickly. You drink water, you eat some greens, you eat a good healthy meal or not even a so healthy meal. But if your GI is working the way it's intended to, it will move all of these materials through your body and through a process of elimination. My body, the stasis or the movement is so slow that I will eat something and it almost takes 2 to 3 days for it to move out of my body. So I have to induce elimination by a series of supplements, by enormous amount of exercise, like almost overhydration, to create almost a plunging effect or a washing effect of my interior so that I can actually eliminate. Now, when toxins build up in your body like that, they cause all kinds of stuff from my tongue, my eyes, which are super bright and filled with happiness, a lot of times are covered with this like thin film that's kind of yellow. I feel sometimes like almost bent over because I feel like I can't stretch my intestines out all the way because it almost feels like they'll burst. I don't sleep well. I have to get up in the middle of the night, like around 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning to try and go to the bathroom just so I can have a peaceful 2 or 3, hours of sleep per night.
Do you do enemas?
No, I do not. I did in the past when I was more leaning towards Western medicine, and it did not give me any satisfaction and ended up just being super expensive for me and not effective. So I abandoned that practice.
Okay. And so you haven't done the coffee enemas like at home or anything yet?
No,
okay.
Nothing like that.
Okay. Well, that's fine. I mean, with or without doing enemas, we can still help you. So me and the universe can still help you. So can you tell me exactly what you're taking in the form of supplements?
Yeah, absolutely. I have it here in the folder. Okay, so I take L-theanine, which is supposed to help me to stay asleep when I finally do fall asleep. Effervescent magnesium citrate powder, and apparently the powder is more effective than the pills. And magnesium is supposed to aid in the movement for your GI. Something called liposomal glutathione, which is also supposed to help during the daytime in the mornings for me to be able to move my GI. Then apparently my body is not absorbing enough protein, so I've been prescribed that I have to take a pea-based protein powder that I drink. I mix it with like coconut water or some other clear liquid because I'm lactose intolerant. A digestive enzyme, which is again supposed to help to activate some of the enzymes that aren't working on my behalf naturally in my own body, and then a series of fish oils and something called chlorella, which is just green algae, lots of green algae, and I'm supposed to. And at times it's hard because it's a lot, just eat an enormous amount of leafy green vegetables throughout the day so that I can assist my body in sort of moving things along.
Perfect. Lisa, thank you so much because this gives us a really good idea of where you're at. And what I'd like to do here is I'd like to share a little bit about how similar what I went through as far as physical, like what I took and what I was feeling was almost identical to you and how I cleared it. And then as I go through it, I'm going to start turning the questions on you because you're going to start seeing where maybe somewhere in here, this is relevant for you, what I discovered about why I was gluten intolerant. So right where you're leaving off, I'm going to pick up. I did everything you did when I had gluten, and the type of gluten intolerance that I have was coming up into severe. I thought I had celiac disease, but when I kept going to the ER every 4 weeks, they kept saying, no, I don't. But they still did spinal taps, and they still were trying to solve it because my migraines were so incredible. But so not only did I do what you did, but I also was seeing a colon hydrotherapist 3 times a week and doing coffee enemas twice a day. And I also had the 2 a.m. wake up, and I also had headaches pretty much every 2 or 3 days. I did massages on my colon. I brought it back from atrophy from 25 years of using laxatives from a high-stress life and damaged my colon. I had sluggish colon also. I had distended colon, so I had to lift it and carry it up with a band to keep it in. Water was like a crazy situation for me because it was a strange retention because the colon walls would get soggy, and then it would almost like prevent the natural rhythm for it to move waste. So I was having we have a break in 2 minutes, but I am going to pick up where we left off, but I'm going to just keep going for a second. What I'm going to finish talking about on return from the break is some of the things that I did further on down the road, like if you kept going for like another 6 months. I'm going to show you what I did and then how I completely solved it. 100% gluten-free. I am gluten-free from gluten-free living. I am completely free from it. So we're going to take a break, but so far we're off to a really, really good start. So thank you so much for everything. And if you think of anything else that comes up for you that you're experiencing, please jump in and just tell me. And so it looks like we're going to go into break here any second, but I don't know when that will happen. So I'll just keep talking. So the migraines are the things that got my attention. And here we go. So we're going to go on break right now. We'll be right back.
Hi, this is Jay Grace, and I'm really excited about a new show with our host, Sue Broom. Her show is Angel Talk with Sue, and it's going to be Mondays at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Her debut is this coming Monday, so join her. Thank you.
In these challenging times, everyone needs a little guidance. The Virtual Psychic Fair is a once-a-month special online event where you can get the expert guidance you seek. Visit us at the Virtual Psychic Fair, www.virtualpsychicfair.com, or call toll-free at 888-626-7386.
Hi, this is Jay Grace, creator and host of Thrive with Jay Grace. This is a live variety talk show program that I'm very excited to produce for you. It's all about entertaining and always encouraging you to live the thriving life that you deserve. Remember, that's Thrive with Jay Grace, Thursdays live at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, because it is your time to thrive.
And you're back with Instant Reboot with Oriah Mirza. Oriah, it's on you.
So we're just talking right now to Lisa about the stages of gluten intolerance that she's experiencing, and she has a list of supplements and ingredients and things that she's taking, and her habits during a 24-hour period of what it's like to just live with a colon that is not, her GI tract is just not, it's not operating fast enough. It's just sluggish, it's slow, and she's getting sick. There's backup of toxins. It's going into her bloodstream, and it's affecting her overall performance in life. And I'm sure you have brain fog also, and fatigue, and listlessness, and you can't sleep like you said. So she's taking things to supplement this. What I was picking up where I left off was that I experienced all those and took all those things that you're taking. And what happened was, for a time, they worked because I was really excited about them, and I said, "This will do it. This will do it." Then I started to. I went on so many different diets, if you want to call it that. So I would start eliminating things, and I would just only have greens, and then only green juices, and then things with pulp, and then things without pulp, and then I would do tons of probiotic, and then kefirs, and then I would do just every type of enzyme, and then I'd want to get the best enzyme on the market, and then the best probiotic, and which is the one that has the most parts per billion. And I literally tried everything that you could possibly think of, and this went on for 2 solid years. And where I ended up, and I'm just going to slow down here in this area because this is where I would like for you, Lisa, to jump on board with me here at this moment, is what happened is I got really tired, like emotionally exhausted from trying to constantly heal myself. I got tired of, yes, I healed my body for 7 years. Yes, my body is back, but why is my intestinal tract not working? Why is my digestion slow? How come nothing I'm doing is working? It's like trying to find the right pH balance in a fish tank. I kept trying to balance everything. A little of this, take a little of that out. Put a little of this in, take a little of that out. Always trial and error. I'd go to a restaurant. I would have to have a completely different situation than anybody else. My exhaustion was so evident on my face. Everybody around me, didn't really know what I was going through, and I was struggling just to keep up. And I would get shaky because I was burning out in just my adrenals, trying to keep myself going while my body's trying to process all this waste. And so you're with me on that so far, right? So you understand this exhaustion?
I absolutely do. It hasn't intensified to that extent, but it is definitely something that I have to work at to make sure.
So that's the key word.
So either way, it's still sort of, I feel like I'm there, Right.
So the key word is work at it. So that's what I was doing. Now, in the realm of self-healing, the first thing you're going to think of is, well, what's wrong with working on a program, and what's wrong with self-healing that way, and what's wrong with taking supplements, and what's wrong with taking care of yourself? Everybody would recommend to do that, and they're right. However, when I'm going on 2 years, and I never know if I'm going to eat the wrong thing, or if I'm going to have a gluten attack, and I'm only down to like 5 items I can eat, I started to get very emotional. I got really emotional. And here I've been doing transformational work for 7 straight years on myself, plus another 10 years just in seminars and workshops. And I said, why am I still dealing with this? I'm really tired. And this is not fun anymore. I'm not having fun in the lab, like scientifically putting myself back together like Frankenstein. Like it's not fun for me anymore. It used to be a little bit glamorous when I first started because I was doing all these beautiful, magical concoctions and making all these, these chemistry elements work together. And I was so proud of myself, and it was so exciting to like take care of my health. But year after year, and I said, my quality of life is not there. I'm not living a high quality life. What am I doing? What am I doing? Am I trying to solve problems as they come up? Am I trying to take out fires when I see them? Is that what's happening? I'm just constantly problem solving. Is that what I'm doing? Because it seems like it's never ending. It's like that game when you hit at the carnival and you hit the little groundhog that comes up. Once you hit one thing, there's another thing that pops up. Then another thing. It's like, It's just never ending, right? You know this feeling? So
yeah, absolutely. I mean, it just seems like there's a lot of management.
Yeah, and the management gets old and tiring after so many years straight of management. So I decided to take a big leap. I took a huge leap. I took a leap that might not be popular. I took a leap that might not be condoned. I took a leap that maybe not all the healers would agree with me. I took a leap that maybe may never work. Like it was a leap that it was like a risk. And it was a risk like I had no other choice. It was either I suffer through a poor quality of life, even though I've healed the rest of my body, but if you don't have your digestion working with you, what kind of quality of life are you really living? Because that's like your back support. That's your full pipeline. And that has the most intelligence in it than anything else. Look at how many processes it does. And look at how much it takes up in your body. Look how long it is. Look at how involved it is in your body. It is a massive organ. And without the support of your GI tract, you're really not living a life. So I stopped everything, Lisa. and I sat down and I said, you know what? I'm going to come to terms with myself once and for all. I'm done with the ER visits. I'm done with my kids saying, oh, you're always sick. When are you going to get better? Like it's hurting their feelings. Like they just feel like they're losing their mother. And I said, I'm going to get to the bottom of why I can't digest food. And there the wisdom was right laid out in front of me like a red carpet. I wasn't digesting life. Now, there was so much more to this, so don't just stop there. So I wasn't digesting life. So what does that mean? Because on paper, really, even in any dimension, I loved my life. My life looked great. I loved my husband. I loved my children, my home life. I've worked very hard to create the realities I want. I have absolutely no room to complain. I'm completely satisfied. So what do you mean I'm not digesting life? That doesn't make any sense. And then I found it. There was a little hidden gem that was hiding from my view. I didn't digest the life I had up until this point. I was resisting and rejecting the idea that I suffered for 25 years prior to my healing time. So let's say you're doing really great now, but let's go back to the first 25 years or 30 years. Let's say you were young and having fun and your hair on fire and you're enjoying everything. But what about if in the middle of all that, there's some suffering, there's pain, you're going through a lot, maybe there's tons of stress, maybe you're having a lot of anxiety, maybe you have burnouts and crashes, maybe you're up and down like a roller coaster, maybe there's adrenal burnouts, maybe you're suffering in your heart, maybe your heart broken. I can go on and on. In those 25 years, I'm sure you experienced that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay. Absolutely.
All of those things in different stages or in different intensities, but definitely a totality of all of those things that you've mentioned and more.
Exactly. Now, when you first make your big first leap out of that life and you say, wait, I'm going to stop everything and create a new life for myself because I'm going to burn out or hit a wall or I can't continue this way because it's going to devastate me mentally, emotionally, and physically, and you did something about it, and let's say you did your big, huge leap and you did create a new life. So now you're home free and you're happy and you're running in the fields and you're enjoying everything. But then you have these little things sneaking up, these like these, it's like after the war, like you find out that there's like some sort of atomic debris in the soil. And then here you are building a beautiful temple, but you have the water tainted. And you're like, where is this coming from? Well, where it's coming from is the suffering and pain that you had in your past. And then you said, well, I thought I cleared that when I created my new reality. Why is it coming up now? Well, because it's been stored away. The reason your GI tract is doing what it's doing is it's because it has worked so hard to maintain you up until now. It worked so hard to say, it's okay, Lisa, to be here now. It's okay to be in where you are today. It's okay to get through the 25 years. It's okay to be hurt. It's okay to survive. It's okay to now thrive. It's okay to be you. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. And after a while, what happens when you tell somebody it's okay so many times? It's like you wear out. It's like your colon exhausted itself from your anxiety of, am I okay? Is it okay? Can I have it now? Can I let go? Can I open my eyes? Can I let go of my hands on the steering wheel? Is my life really that good? Is it really, really real? Now, if you go deeper into this, you'll find out that if you did any trauma therapy, you'll find out that you can say to me, Oriah, I've experienced tons of trauma, right? Mm-hmm. Most people have. Yeah, most people have. So you're saying, well, I've experienced tons of trauma. So of course, well, yeah, but why is this still occurring today, years and years and years later, when officially you're supposed to be done with trauma, right? You're supposed to be clear.
Sure.
So why isn't the intestines getting the news update? Like, we're good now. Coast is clear. Everybody's good. We can all come out.
Yeah, come out.
You want to know why? You actually don't really believe it yet. I know it sounds crazy, because at first blush you would say, what are you talking about? Because I look around my life and there's absolutely no danger anywhere. I am completely content with what I'm doing. I am content with my decisions. I love my choices. Why would I not believe my life is good? And that is where we begin. That is actually the question to ask before we actually begin the deep sea diving that we're going to do here. is why is it that my eyeballs can see that my life, my house, my work, my job, my physical being is fine. I'm actually really good. But why is my body saying something different? It's because your body hasn't been informed by you that you are actually no longer in trauma. You're no longer. So you say, well, how do I do that? So let me show you how slow you're going to have to go here and how tiny you're going to have to go. Okay, are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Number one, you're going to have to stop everything. You can't go anywhere, can't do anything, can't talk to anybody, it has to be like complete and total silence. And what you're going to do is you're going to have a conversation with yourself that is not time sensitive. So you're going to have to set up some sort of parameters. You're going to have to set up a time in the day or at night and tell your family. And you're going to have some quiet time with yourself and you're going to have a conversation. And you're going to make some decisions about whether or not you're allowed to receive and accept the beautiful life you have created for yourself. That's what I had to do because I wasn't enjoying life. I couldn't even have a pancake anymore. I couldn't have a piece of toast. I had demonized everything. I couldn't have the little things that were we're going to break again, I think. Pretty soon. I was demonizing every piece of food that I put in my mouth. And so what does that symbolize? That symbolizes that you're not allowed to have. So look at all the areas of your life right now in this very moment with your list and your day-to-day activities. Look at how many times in the background you're saying to yourself, I'm not allowed to have. Fill in the blank. And do you know how deep that goes? Do you know where there's like a quiet voice that says, why can't I have this? Do you know how symbolic that is for the rest of your life of what you're experiencing day to day? Why can't I experience the goodness that I've created? Why can't I receive the little moments that are so precious? Why am I not allowed? Why am I not allowing myself? What am I still scared of? What am I afraid of? I had a lot of inner crying during this time. I didn't cry outside. I cried inside. It was like rain coming down on the inside of my body. And I went into my intestinal tract and I said, we're going to heal. And you don't have to take a million things to do it. You're going to find out that you're safe once and for all. And you're going to know that you're okay. I talked to my colon like that. Mm-hmm. I took my colon and put it in my heart. And I held it there. And I cried with it because of what it went through with me. What it survived, this life. And I thanked it for keeping me alive and going through every beautiful and extreme and crazy moment in my existence. So do you see right here in this place where this could be you?
I definitely envision that could be something that would apply to how this process is affecting me, for sure.
Because do you see how sensitive the intestines are, right? You see how delicate.
100%.
So do you know the delicacy and the intricacies of your body and the smallness that you would have to be with yourself, meaning you did the big warrior game. You did the big pioneering feat of getting to where you are today. You gave yourself already the celebration party. You already patted yourself on the back. You've already announced to yourself in the world you made it. Now, how do you eat the pie that you just made? Now, how do you receive what you just created? So we have a break right now. So we will be back in 3 minutes.
Hi, this is Jay Grace, and I'm really excited about a new show with our host, Sue Broom. Her show is Angel Talk with Sue, and it's going to be Mondays, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Her debut is this coming Monday, so join her. Thank you.
In these challenging times, everyone needs a little guidance. The Virtual Psychic Fair is a once-a-month special online event where you can get the expert guidance you seek. Visit us at the Virtual Psychic Fair, www.virtualpsychicfair.com, or call toll-free at 888-626-7386.
Hi, this is Jay Grace, creator and host of Thrive with Jay Grace. This is a live variety talk show program that I'm very excited to produce for you. It's all about entertaining and always encouraging you to live the thriving life that you deserve. Remember, that's Thrive with Jay Grace, Thursdays live at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, because it is your time to thrive.
And you're back with Instant Reboot with Oriah Mirza. Oriah, take it away.
Hi, welcome back, everyone. I'm just going to pick up where we left off. We're talking with Lisa, and I was just explaining how I was able to start the process of releasing gluten completely from the idea of having gluten intolerance, to be clear, from my system. And as I was walking her through some of the processes of what I did, I'm going to start asking you, Lisa, if you don't mind going into a little question and answer with me, if I can kind of start the process of beginning to walk you through some of these questions that you can ask yourself. So do you mind if I start asking you some of them?
No, not at all. I welcome it.
Okay. So when you are self-healing, like right now, up until today, and you're going through your list, you're taking all your supplements, can you tell me what your emotional state is like while you're standing in the kitchen and hoping that this next thing is going to work?
Yes, definitely. But I feel gratitude. I feel hopeful. I feel exhausted. I feel very full because there's a lot of stuff that a lot of processes that I have to sort of activate, and potions to mix and pills to take, and attention to detail, certain things with food, certain things without, certain things after you eat. There's just a lot of detail to an already very dynamic and detailed life. So,
right. So now those systems have gotten you to this place where you can function to a certain degree. It's not where you want to be functioning, but to a certain degree. So they have worked so far, but it hasn't gotten you where you wanted to go, and that's the goal, correct?
Yes, I would say that I haven't given this sort of last bout of healing. It's only been this has only been my first week with this bout, right. But yes, I believe that there's definitely could be a grander improvement in how my body functions. So
I want to point to that I don't want to say hectic, but it feels sometimes probably hectic when people have a lot on their plate. So when your life is really full and it's very complex and it's a lot of moving parts, and then on top of that, you're healing your body and you're a busy mother, or you're busy, you have a busy life and you have a busy family, you are trying to carve out a moment for yourself to heal something that can actually take you completely out of your game. You can actually end up in bed for days. So it's like very crucial that you maintain this schedule to make sure you can just digest food. At the deeper core level, there's another conversation happening inside of you that you may or may not be aware of. And the conversation may be a little bit scared. Are you in tune with that area? It's an overall, let me explain a little further. It's an overall fear of the unknown or the future, or how long or how short, or durations and timelines.
I will be honest with you. I do not recognize fear in this at all. I recognize impatience. That is what I will very honestly tell you.
So you are working on patience.
Yeah.
So, okay. So patience means you have to slow down.
Yeah.
And take
100%.
your time.
That's what this is. This is what this is all about.
This is what this is all about. So you are finding yourself having to slow down. Okay. So that's number one.
I can't go in overdrive the way I have, because this time that I need to carve out for myself to do these things before I can go to my spinning class or take my daughter to drop off or whatever it is that I do to get my day going, it's just a lot. And if those things don't happen, the rest of the day is moot.
Now, imagine, first of all, how long have you been experiencing this imbalance in the digestion?
Digestions is going on maybe 10 years.
And how long has it been at this level of for you, severe?
So
severe.
This last 2 years has been the most severe.
Okay. Now imagine this, and you are way tougher than I am. Imagine this. Imagine you're too exhausted to go to spin class anymore. And then you have to have somebody go pick up your kids from school, or you can no longer just keep your routine up. Can you see where it could happen if something just doesn't fit right in the way your chemistry is working? Could happen. Could work, could not, is a 50-50 chance. We don't know. We're going to take it. We're going to see how far we go with your current regimen. There's nothing wrong with your current regimen because you can totally, you're putting good things into your body. There's nothing to do with that. But we're going into the deeper beliefs behind what you're doing. So could you imagine if you can ever get to that place? Do you think it's possible, or do you think you could, or do you think there's no way that you can get to that place?
I believe I can get to that place.
Where you slowly start to slow down and grind to a halt?
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, I'm already doing it.
You're starting to slow down and get exhausted by the day. So are your days getting shorter and your naps getting longer?
No. I'm sorry. I guess I misunderstood you. I thought you meant by slow down, meaning that I need to just slow down to take time for myself so that I can do this process correctly. But in terms of my daily activities slowing down, no, because I believe I'm managing it in a way right now that I don't have to stop doing things. But if I didn't do the stuff I do, my day would come to a screeching halt.
Okay, so let's talk about that, and then let's add one other component is I did what you were doing, plus I added 10 more things on the list, and I went down to the bed, to people who had to do things for me, and I couldn't do activities anymore. So what happened to me was it that I did or did not believe in it? I totally believed in it. I believed in everything I was doing. I believed in the coffee enemas. I believed in the healers. I believed in the supplements. I believed in the enzymes and the probiotics. I believed in my ability to self-heal. I believed in it all. So what went wrong? If there's anything that could go wrong. What went wrong, if you want to call it wrong? What didn't work? So what didn't work was the exhaustion of having to maintain my digestion. Instead of just when you're 15 years old, you just get up and your digestion just works. Right. So now I'm having to manage my digestion. It finally landed on me. What am I doing? Why am I managing my digestion? Why am I managing my digestion? Do I just want to just write myself off and say, oh, well, this is just the way it's going to be, and I'm going to continue doing this until I hope it works? Is this my final story? This is what I wanted to know. Because after so long of this, I was asking myself, this is not a quality of living. I'm not having a quality of life that I want. So I had to go and ask other questions, which is, do I need to still have this at all? Is there anything wrong with all the things I was taking? No, it's all beautiful, universal. It's created by the universe. It's amazing what you're taking. But do I still want to be of the mindset that if I stop taking it, or if I take myself off the regimen for 1 second, that I could slip up and be taken down? Do I want to live on that kind of razor's edge? Do I really still need to know myself as somebody who's always trying to just barely make it or just trying to survive? Do I need to always be saying I could never really hit the mark? Do I always need to say I can't reach the bullseye? Do I always have to say that I can't ring my own bell? Why can't I ever get there? When will I get to this place? And what's this place? Full harmony in the body, full balance in the body, mind, and spirit completely in harmony with itself. How does that happen? We had it when we were kids. We didn't have to worry about anything. And you'll say, well, your organs were so new and fresh and you were young. Yeah, but your organs regenerate every 7 years. So it comes down to habit. It comes down to how we eat and live and all the things in our environment. Okay, yes. However, was that going to stop me? Because now, you know what I started doing, Lisa? And I don't know how old you are, but this is where I started going at 43. I started saying, oh, I'm getting older. Oh, this is where everything slows down. Oh, I see. Okay, that's right. And I started actually having conversations about, I guess I just can't do those things anymore. I started going into mortality thinking at 43 years old. I'm starting to think of all the things I can't do anymore and starting to find ways to be okay with it. Are you hearing what I'm saying? This is a slow. No, I'm not saying it from that place. I'm saying it from like the excitement of the unknown place. But I'm saying it as, do you hear the extremism of how far this can go?
Yeah, it sounds desperate. It sounds like it's right at the end of the road. In
the beginning, I didn't feel that way. In the beginning, I felt like I was running the race, I was doing the thing, and it was good. I felt like it was good. Lisa, I felt it was good. I can't stress that enough. But after wearing down of not being able to keep up the regimen due to maybe getting sick, or maybe something went wrong, or I couldn't, the chlorella wasn't working anymore, or the enzymes, I had to change them 500 times because that brand didn't work anymore. When that started happening, I said, wait, this is not about the supplements anymore. This isn't about anything other than what I want to believe in my world. So what is it that I wanted to believe? I wanted to believe I was safe. I wanted to believe I made it. Have you had that conversation with yourself yet?
No.
Do you have any idea how to begin that conversation?
I don't. I feel like I'm missing a mark on identifying with the
how it correlates?
Yeah, no, just the intensity of sort of your experience and my own experience.
Right.
Just trying to put myself in your position and trying to then correlate it to where I am.
Now, there's people I've talked to that have written books literally on almost dying from gluten, and they know this place. But if you haven't gotten all the way there, this conversation, like you said, it's hard to grasp it. So all I could say to you is, would you consider believing that your beliefs are creating your experience with your digestion and what you've experienced in your 25 years, your 30 years of just surviving on the planet and the way you did it? Do you think maybe for a second it could be related to the twisting and the gnarling or the tightening or the holding of your energy inside of your colon, the way you processed life, the way you digested life, the way you took life in? Do you think it has any correlation from what you've done in the past to where you are today? Do you see any correlation?
I can say that I would definitely consider it, but again, I just want to be honest. I don't see it as a direct correlation, but when I think about some of those moments in my life that have been tough, really tough, and then I'm trying to remember what was going on in my body at the time, and I do know that it was incredibly, incredibly stressful. So while I'm not a doctor, I would.
Where do you remember holding it in your body when you were going through those time periods? Do you remember?
Yeah, I do, between my shoulder blades.
Okay, and then what was happening from your heart center down? What was happening in that region? Do you remember? If you go back and really think about from when it all started, the heavy, heavy, strong lifting in your life, and then the duration. Do you remember what was going on in your abdomen. Can you trace it?
It was void. Yeah, it was void. It was just void.
It was void.
Yeah, it was empty.
Like it didn't exist. So
It didn't exist.
It didn't exist. So do you consider that being cut off from it energetically, or do you think that just means what would
100% cut off from it, I would say.
Okay.
I would say it's like almost like a way of like taking an eraser and just erasing that part of my body so that I could keep going with either the heavy lifting or the digesting of emotions or, just coping.
So what was happening is it was processing energetically and emotionally, because your body's made up of conscious cells, and it was processing, and it was holding, and it was receiving, and it was manifesting all of that information that you were sending through. And the biggest piece of information you just said here was there was a quote unquote disconnect. There was actually no consciousness that you were aware of that was going to that region. So if you imagine that your awareness and focus is so powerful and it's like full of life force energy, wherever you put your attention, it just blossoms and there it goes. Now imagine if you cut off, like taking a plant and putting it in the closet and there's no sun. Could you imagine if you cut yourself off emotionally from that region of your body, what could happen when you go to revisit it 20 years later, when it knocks on your door and says, hey, I'm dying in here. No one's showing me any love. There's no love happening. I'm not getting any love, no proper nutrition or whatever it is. Like it could be emotional nutrition, it could be mental nutrition. There's no life force energy coming through here. And every part of your body is just as active as your mind, and every part is connected, and it's all one. So could you imagine, as a symbol, if you are being cut off from your digestion is not getting the boost, the big, powerful Lisa boost of love, source, power, energy that you hold in other areas, it's not going in there. And so you would have to believe that this is possible. You would have to connect a million dots to see if this is even plausible that this could be. And that's where I was starting from the beginning of the call, when I was talking about when I finally had that moment with myself and I was silent and I was quiet, and I said, what am I at war with? Why is there still a war going on here? I thought we were done. I thought I was allowed to have fun now. Why am I still dealing with something? Why is this still a thing? Like, I don't mind the healing part of it. I love healing myself. I love taking all the things I've been taking, but I don't like that I'm doing it, because if I don't take it, it's over. My quality of life goes completely downhill fast, and it's over. That part got my attention.
Yeah, it's almost like an ultimatum. It feels like my body's like, okay, I'm glad you're able to take all these supplements, because if you don't, I can't promise the outcome. Like, I do feel like I'm being sort of held hostage by the situation.
Right. And at the same time, it's like if you're getting shade from a tree, you're not going to say you're being held hostage by the tree. So we're not saying there's anything wrong but these beautiful supplements that you're taking. But what we're saying is, why even have to go down this road to begin with? And this is where the beginning of the conversation comes in, where you ask yourself, why do I think that I'm not allowed to have all my entire system, from head to toe? Why can't my entire being engage 100% in everything I do with love and peace? And when I said that to myself, the big ringer went off. I wasn't in peace. That was the big secret. I wasn't in my peace. I didn't even know what peace was, Lisa. I had no clue. I didn't even know where to begin. I didn't even know where to look for peace. Not that I had chaos in my life. I just had a very busy life. I had a normal life. I had created a normal life after living all those big years doing crazy things. Now I'm living this beautifully balanced life. What's the problem? What do you mean you don't have peace? I didn't have peace in my body. That's what I'm talking about. I didn't have peace inside of me. And there was a war still going on. It was like the news update, like the memo never got to the colon. The colon never found out that we're good now. So what I had to do is surrender to myself and to surrender to my love and surrender to the love of my family, my husband, my just surrender to me. I had to surrender to that. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I'm here. It's okay. We're going to do this. And we don't have to fight to stay alive. And we don't have to fight to be healthy. And I don't need to fight to be me. I don't want to fight anymore. I'm done fighting. I was hurt. Who isn't? And I just got to this place. And so I'm catching you at a time where you haven't gone into the full exhaustion of keeping yourself going, because you know that this will work and help you. But the question is, would you like to be free from having to be on a list? Would you like to be free from the list?
Meaning the list of my supplements and all the things I take?
That you have to do on point, on time. You can still take supplements all you want, but if you don't take it, it's not detrimental. Do you want to live in that kind of freedom again? Now, this time, you know why it's going to be different this time when you do it? Is because you're no longer going to be disconnected, because now you're fully aware of your colon. Now, the colon has made itself very clear to you. So now you're aware of all that's happening from your belly button down or from your heart down. You're really, 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 really paying attention. So now that it got your attention, if you clear this area, you actually can say, not only have I gotten to know my colon, but I've become friends with my colon. I've actually made peace. I've made peace with my life. I've made peace with the life that I had chosen prior. I've made peace with myself today. I've made peace in the moment, what's happening around me, with the people I'm speaking to, the people who are in my existence. I'm at peace with the soil under my feet. I'm at peace with the sun and the sky, the way it's shining down. I'm at peace with time. I'm at peace with how I create time. And you will find a powerful source of peace that's within you that you didn't know was there. And I found it when I decided to stop being at war, trying to fight to keep myself going. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
How does that feel for you?
I'm processing, as I do with everything.
What's the first thing? What's the first thing that comes up for you right now? What's the spot? What's the area that you're saying to yourself, you have a question? Like you're asking yourself a question, or you're asking the universe, or you're asking me. There's just a question, like you're in a quandary.
It doesn't feel like a quandary. It just feels like I am curious as to how long this will go on with me just being able to cope with it, because I'm sort of coming out of a really hard part about it. I'm actually feeling some relief.
Yes.
I'm bored with it already. I'd like it not be a conversation in my GI has like its own room in our house.
You got it.
It's like
Lisa, you are right.
It's a massive conversation.
Yep.
You know, to have like your family members go, did you go yet? Did you go yet?
Right. It's Lisa and her colon. It's like your twin, right? You carry it wherever you go. Yeah, everybody has a relationship with your colon and with you.
Yeah, and I just would love there's so much more to me than my colon. I would like to get back on track with some of the other parts that are they're so much more interesting than my colon.
If you go right to the source, if you were to cut through right here and take a shortcut and say, can I allow myself to experience and love every minute of my existence on this planet? Am I allowed to do that? You will watch your colon unwind. You will watch your colon go to peace, homeostasis. It's happened to me. I'm completely free from any symptoms of any kind. And I am so grateful on my hands and knees on the floor kissing the ground, that I surrendered to myself in my love with my life and forever, like from my past into my future, there is no more conversations about can I do anything. There's no more conversations, am I allowed to feel good? Am I allowed to have a good day physically? Am I allowed to be at peace in my body? Is that okay? Like that conversation is over. And not because I got mad. I actually did the reverse. I actually said, it's okay for me to be happy internally. It's okay that it's not conditional. It's okay that I don't need to make it about others. It's okay that I can just allow my own system to be at peace. And then I just kept on that meditation. And it was a step by step by step. Do you see that if you wanted to, because everything you just said right here, right before I said that about being bored was brilliant, because that's exactly the precipice before you go into surrender. It's boredom. Because boredom doesn't have any fire, there's no more juice, you're not getting anything else out of it. You're now finally coming to a realization that there has to be more. And you're right, there is more. It's in you. You have the power to create homeostasis. You can do it as quick or as fast or as slow as you would like. It's up to you how much you would like to accept and receive your life in totality as being beautiful because it came from you and you created it and it's yours and you are allowed to feel good in your system. It's a good quandary. It's like making peace finally. You know, like the peace offering. You just make peace with your colon. You put the flag up. It's just you reach out and you grab it and say, let's do this together. I'm no longer going to be carrying you over my shoulder like an injured troop, like an injured soldier. Because it feels like an injured soldier. That's what it feels like. It feels like it's been through a lot. Because you have been through a lot. But is it okay that you've been through a lot? It made you who you are today. It made you smart, beautiful, brilliant, on top of things. It made you open, vulnerable, sensitive, open, wide, yummy. It warmed you up. Your life turned you into that kind of, that clay when you work the clay and it's nice and warm and it's flexible. That's what happened. So nothing actually bad came out of your life. You came out of this existence that you created and look at who you are today. Would you trade you in at any time for any other version of you? Is this the best version of you yet?
I'm pretty proud of this me.
Yes. 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 That's the direction to go on. That's the direction to go in. That's the direction to pick up where you left off right there and say, wait, it wasn't all that bad, even though it was terrifying at the time. But if you look at it, you'll go, wait a minute, but I did it. I did it. I made it. Yeah, I have some wounds. I have some leftover scars, but I did it. I'm still here. I'm sane. I'm functioning. I can do things. I have a life. I'm balanced. I figured it out. There's nothing but joy and celebration at the end of this. So you are at the last tail end of just completing it with the peace. What do you feel about that part of it at this point?
It's hopeful. It makes me optimistic. It makes me, it's very forgiving and forgiveness inducing. So it's just sort of like, instead of like bashing the past about how it was so aggressive and unfair and exhausting, it's sort of like, thanks for the workout. And thanks for the preparation. And
wow.
Thanks for all of the stretching and bending and twisting that led me to be able to, I get to be who I am. That's, for me, a big deal. I'm excited and impressed with who I am as a human being, despite the things I've been through.
So I want to let whoever's listening in right now, I'd like to let them in on a little secret. You are launching a talk show with me, and we've had already our first episode, and you have shown such tremendous integrity and guts to go public about your health to go public about what it takes to heal, what it takes to surrender to your peace. And you're coming from this big, amazing corporate background, and you are not going to let anything stop you. But instead of doing it from taking the mountain, you're taking a completely different road. You're actually getting off the road and getting in a canoe down a stream. And you're going to take it from here. It's going to get easier because you're realizing that every single thing you did was to get you to this place of self-mastery, where you can literally instantly reboot your life in any way you want. So in this case, you're working with the intestines, but do you know you can do this if you have, like people have, inflammation, or their knees are inflamed, or they have arthritis, or they have, so many health ailments. And I'm sure a lot of people who have, really, really severe health conditions. And imagine if you clear this out of your system with knowing who you are and how I know you. Could you imagine just sharing your new life free from intestinal pain and issues with digestion, because you've received your digestion of life. You've taken in your life fully. Imagine when you share that with the people that you know that are in pain. Imagine how you can change their world, because you are a magnificent being. And we're going to break in 2 minutes, but I just wanted to tell our viewers who you are because of what an amazing road you've been on. And you yourself are an amazing healer, and you're just discovering that. And you're just coming into it. And you're just finding out that you can do this with yourself, and you can actually help others. Do you see that?
Yeah, and it's a very, very humbling, and which is very interesting to have these two things sort of be in the same sentence, but humbling and powerful, if that makes sense.
Yes.
That,
and we're going to break in 2 minutes, but keep your thought going. We'll be breaking in 2 minutes, but keep going.
To be able to have that kind of positive, encouraging power to affect the same kinds of changes with other people. That to me is actually that's real power. That's what power means to me. Not the old power that I was used to, which is how much you make and how you appear to show up to the world and what does everyone think and all of that stuff. I'm kind of bored with that too.
I love it so much. We have to take a break right here. We'll be back in 3 minutes. I just can't wait to hear what you have to say.
Hi, this is Jay Grace, and I'm really excited about a new show with our host, Sue Broom. Her show is Angel Talk with Sue, and it's going to be Mondays, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Her debut is this coming Monday, so join her. Thank you.
In these challenging times, everyone needs a little guidance. The Virtual Psychic Fair is a once-a-month special online event where you can get the expert guidance you seek. Visit us at the Virtual Psychic Fair, www.virtualpsychicfair.com, or call toll-free at 888-626-7386.
Hi, this is Jay Grace, creator and host of Thrive with Jay Grace. This is a live variety talk show program that I'm very excited to produce for you. It's all about entertaining and always encouraging you to live the thriving life that you deserve. Remember, that's Thrive with Jay Grace, Thursdays live at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, because it is your time to thrive.
And you're back with Instant Reboot with Oriah Mirza. Oriah.
So, Lisa, you were discussing that there's a new paradigm, a new way of having personal power. What were you saying about that?
I was just really thrilled and excited about the fact that you can sort of be humble and powerful sort of in the same sentence, or in the same lifetime, or in the same moment. That you can have the ability, or that I can have the ability to share a truth. It's just a truth. It's not a well-written story. It's not a well-produced segment. It's nothing. It's just my truth. It's very simple. It's unglamorous, but it's the truth. Yes. And if that truth can affect change or awakening or camaraderie, or, oh my God, that I can see me in there, in someone else. Yes. That to me is my new version of power. My power in the past emanated from other things.
So let me ask you, if you took what you just said and encapsulated it and put it in a beautiful, beautiful like ball of light, everything you just said, hold it in energy, because it's words and energy, it's your thoughts, intentions, everything you just said is beautiful, and you put it visually in a ball of light. Now imagine sending that information down to your colon right now. Mm-hmm. Tell your colon about that. That is all that I'm saying today, is what happens when you let your colon know that you have made it. Then it's allowed to come with you. Mm-hmm. You'd have to believe it. And I know I'm jumping because of the show. I can't go into the fine-tuned details here because I don't have the time, but you can connect the dots to see that if you allow your body to receive the information of what you just said, if you internalize, it's already coming from you. But if you visually and physically can feel it going into your body, what you're saying, and you're sending it down into all your organs and pushing it through your bloodstream, your heart, your lungs, your legs, your tendons, your thighs, your bones, it's almost like you marinate in the beauty of your realizations that you're having right now. You've been having them, but imagine if you send it down like a light frequency, intentionality, love, intelligence, like you're doing, and focus on your colon. Just imagine what you think can happen. So can you walk me through the possibilities of what you think if you tried it?
I think that there would be relief. I know there will be relief. I know there will be ease. I know there'll be less anxiety. I know that I will be free to play. And I'm a child. I'm a 52-year-old child.
I would have never in a million years thought you were 52. I thought you were I thought you were my age or younger. No, that's beautiful.
52 years old.
Do you know one of the areas you're going to discover here in this list? I'm going to throw it in here and see if you can find it within yourself. You're going to find the perfection of everything you have done up until now. Until this very second has been perfect. Perfect for you, perfect for your body, and everything is coming into homeostasis because your body is going to receive any information you give it. If you say there's something wrong and there's a fire, it's going to go into panic and anxiety. If you say that you are in perfection, living in your perfection, because it's you. Why are you not allowed to be in your perfection? The tree is in its perfection. Even if it has fungus growing on a tree, that's still perfect because that's what it wants to do. That's what it's doing. It has fungus, but it's still life force energy. Well, maybe a tree doesn't want to have fungus. So maybe you don't want to have any colon issues. It's still perfect. So when we have the mentality that we're imperfect and we're trying to solve and fix, we keep reiterating there's something wrong with me. There's something wrong with my system, which reiterates you're off balance, which reiterates it's going to be a slow time for you to heal. Your colon is going to be slow to recuperate, slow to come back, because we're having the mindset that everything takes too long. It's slow, because I can't have everything just happen right now in the instant. I'm not allowed to have it right now. That's too easy. It's too good to be true. How can that be possible? It's like, is this mumbo jumbo? What is this? So when you go into your perfection, so in that list you were just making, if you were to insert perfection, can you take it from there and tell me how that would feel for you?
Joyful, easy, effortless, peaceful, shiny, and lots of bread.
I
I'm
love
just being honest.
that was the first, can I tell you, that was the first thing I celebrated with. I went and got the biggest, hottest, fattest piece of juicy, yummy, crusty bread, and I swamped butter on it, and I sat with my family in an Italian restaurant, and I laughed, and I said, I'm human, and I can play, and I'm not going to die. And I put my foot down.
That's so amazing. I can't wait for that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's just a matter of when you had enough. It's really when, in just anything in your life, look back at any time in your life when you've had enough. You know those moments when you say, okay, I'm good, that's enough. And you just put your foot down to yourself.
It's happening,
it's
happening right now.
Yeah. I'm going to do something else right now. I'm just not going to do it this way anymore. It's just not me anymore. It doesn't serve me. It doesn't fit me. It doesn't match me. It doesn't match what I'm doing. It doesn't match where I'm going. It doesn't match my mindset. It doesn't match how I feel about myself. It doesn't match my intentions. It doesn't match anything. So why is it here? So this is where alignment comes in. So alignment is this amazing thing. So when you're driving your car and you have your tires are not in alignment, you're just bouncing all over the road. So as soon as you have alignment in your car, everything is smooth and easy. So as soon as you are in alignment with yourself, meaning all operations that are handled under you, who you are the CEO of your body, and all the operations underneath you are saying yes to everything you're saying, and you're not creating any kind of discourse or dis-ease or any kind of war within. What you're doing is you're creating peaceful, harmonious resonance. So that it's like a fine-tuned piano. So now you get to go back to how you were before all of this started. So you never actually lost out on anything. You don't have to walk around saying, well, because my life was so hard, now I'm suffering. I got to deal with it. I just got to get over it. I just got to move on. I just got to get better. Oh, well, this is my burden to bear. Oh, well, this is the way it is. It's like your death sentence. It's depressing. And we're not depressing. Our beings are full of light and joy as a natural state. And so why do we give into it? Is it because we're told that we have to? Is it we're told that there's no other way? Are we told that, well, this is the only way? It's not necessary. Those days are over. We're moving past that as a society, as a consciousness. We're moving past that. We're moving into a state of, I can have anything I want. I can create any reality I want. Why not? Why not? That is my biggest motto. If I can just have like the biggest banner in my house that just says, why not? For everything. Why not? Why do we say no to ourselves? Why do we say, no, you're not allowed to feel that hug or that kiss that your partner just gave you? No, that's too good to be true. You're not allowed to have that. Just put it in your pocket for safekeeping. You could eat it like a chipmunk later. When you're driving, you could think about that nice little hug you got. So many of us do that. Do you see what I'm saying about the not receiving in those moments and not letting ourselves have? Yeah. So can you believe that it's related to the digestion directly? Because see, the digestion represents digesting life. How you process, how you take things in.
Yeah, the correlation is like, if it didn't make sense to me, I would be more worried. Like this makes.
Definitely.
I would really wonder, wow, the gluten has now eaten her brain, So it's
well, it tends to eat your brain.
It makes too much sense.
When your family members start having conversations with you and your colon about if you're going to be able to join them later for an event, you've reached a new level of. It's like when you get to become in your later years and you can't function anymore and you can't do the things that you wanted to do, which is not what I want to create for myself. I want to go into my 80s and 90s doing yoga like these women I see. And I can't go down that road if I'm engaging in behaviors that I'm engaging in today, where I'm saying, oh yeah, I'm holding myself together like sticks and glue. There's nothing wrong with self-healing, and there's nothing wrong with supplements in the way that we've been doing it because it's gotten us to this point. But to take it all the way, to take it all the way home, take it all the way back to center. Take it all the way back to alignment. Take it all the way back to a clean oil change. Take it all the way back. Put the odometer back. Take it all the way to when you were young and you just got out of bed and you felt great and you were healthy. And I don't eat all these specialized, like I used to have every single ingredient, every single thing that went in my mouth had to be the highest vibration, coming from the highest vibrational factory in the highest vibrational farm with the highest vibrational animals or non-animals or plant-based or highest vibrational everything. It had to be clean to the core, and it still was never clean enough. I don't know if I wanted to go into the factories myself, check it out, and maybe check out the person running the factory and then see what their home life was like. I'm not sure how far I really wanted to take it, but I can tell you I was on that path. And I said, well, how come I can't just go have pancakes and eggs and a slide of bacon anymore? I used to do that when I was a kid. Why can't I just do that with my family on a Sunday? Am I just not allowed to have? So overall, if you were to take a step back right now, can you tell me as like an overview, like if you were to be in a lifeguard tower and you were just looking at your whole life from birth till now, what would be your conclusion?
Regarding my eating habits, regarding my lifestyle,
your totality of being.
I have lived one of the most remarkably charmed, empowered, fortunate, terrifying, educating lives that I could imagine.
That's right. And you're letting yourself have that.
Yep.
And what about your current life?
It's extraordinary.
Because you're in full discovery. Full-blown discovery of your innate senses, of your innate wisdom, of what lives inside of you, finding out what makes you tick, finding out what makes you go up and down and yes and no and left and right. You're finding out all of the things that you thought you knew in the past, but maybe you didn't really know. It's like kind of like it feels like you are reconnecting or it's like an invitation. It's like you're getting to know yourself again. You're being re-invited to your own party. But this time you're coming in wearing your crown. This time you're coming in your gown. This time you're coming in saying, all is well. I am creating peace for myself. I'm at peace with my being. I'm at peace with my soul, my heart, my life, my body. I'm at peace with my environment. I'm at peace with all those around me. I'm at peace with existence as a whole. I'm at peace with the idea that I even exist. And how do we know we even exist? There's no real proof. So the only proof we really have is that we feel it. So how do we feel? So check in. You have to ask yourself, to everybody who's listening. So you check in and you ask yourself, how do you feel? How do you feel every day? Do you feel like it's uphill? Do you feel like you're solving and fixing? Do you feel like you're taking out fires? Or do you feel like you're swimming the backstroke down this beautiful river of life, looking up at the birds in the sky saying, thank you? And people will send me a list of things of all the reasons why they're not allowed to say that. And what would you say to them?
I actually feel like I'm backstroking. I just have some stuff that needs to be...
And what would you tell them? What would you tell them if they tell you, but Lisa, you're special, you have a special quality, you just know how to do things like this?
No, I would say you're making excuses and making me an exception, and I'm not. You're me. We're the same.
Wow. So you right now have just officially become a healer. On air, live. Because that is what it takes. You heal yourself, you turn around and share the gift. It takes 1 second to heal, 1 second to give, and you've completed the cycle. Now you're a healer giver, and from this moment on, all you're doing is sharing your gifts. What a life. This is the reward for your long journey. You didn't know there was a reward at the end? Well, you kind of did, but you didn't know where it was. And you didn't know how it was going to show up. And you didn't know where you were going to get it from. You're always looking out for the call. Where's the call? Where's the ringing bell? Where's the sound? It's there somewhere. I'm going to ring that bell. How you ring the bell is you ring your bell, and then you show somebody else how to ring their bell. And you've completed the cycle, and you begin the mastery program. And that's why so going on to what we're doing together, that's why I created the show that we're doing, Light Up Your World, a talk show that you're co-hosting with me. That is why I created a master series online seminar programs that we are going to be launching in January. That is why, Lisa, you and I have had so many amazing conversations off the air of the beautiful dynamic things we want to create for people and the future of what we want to help people see. And it's always more fun when there's more than one person involved.
Agreed. That is, for me, the greatest joy about this is the people that I have met in this sort of open, clear atmosphere of truth and authenticity and sharing and not being embarrassed about the fact that we're willing to talk about really intimate, personal things that are basically everything we talk about is the basis for judgment, I believe. And for us to go, yeah, we know. Mm-hmm. And we're still going to talk about it.
Yeah, we just step over it.
Yeah, that's what I feel. I feel like I have on a very
and we're breaking in 2 minutes, but I just want to jump in and tell you, whenever you're getting started on a really good, juicy roll, we have to break, unfortunately, but when we get back, we're going to definitely pick up where you left off, but we still got 1 minute. So, people step over judgment. They judge, everybody just goes and looks the other way. They say, oh, yeah, and they agree. Like, nobody stops and says, do we have to do it that way? But those times are changing. I think more and more we're starting to step up and say, maybe we don't need to judge that person because it doesn't feel good in our system. Who's the one that's getting hurt? The speaker.
We are the judger.
And in that, we're going to end right here with a break. This is I think it's our last break, or we might have 2 more breaks to go, but we'll be right back.
Hi, this is Jay Grace, and I'm really excited about a new show with our host, Sue Broom. Her show is Angel Talk with Sue, and it's going to be Mondays, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Her debut is this coming Monday, so join her. Thank you.
In these challenging times, everyone needs a little guidance. The Virtual Psychic Fair is a once-a-month special online event where you can get the expert guidance you seek. Visit us at the Virtual Psychic Fair, www.virtualpsychicfair.com, or call toll-free at 888-626-7386.
Hi, this is Jay Grace, creator and host of Thrive with Jay Grace. This is a live variety talk show program that I'm very excited to produce for you. It's all about entertaining and always encouraging you to live the thriving life that you deserve. Remember, that's Thrive with Jay Grace, Thursdays live at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, because it is your time to thrive.
So, Lisa, just before the break, sorry, are we back?
You're back.
Sorry, I interrupted you. I'm just so anxious to get back to Lisa. She was saying something that was so important because it happens every single day. It happens to adults, it happens to children. It's devastating when it starts so young. But when you hear judgment, so when people start judging each other, and it's like a group consensus and everybody joins in on it and everybody's doing the judging and nobody stops. And it's not that we want to make the person judging wrong, because then we're just doing the same thing. So it's not about that. It's about changing the conversation to that it doesn't have to be that way. Now, the reason I want to bring this up is because these are the kind of conversations, these internal dialogues, or when you're sharing judgment with another person about somebody else, it doesn't feel good in your own system. And I think that a lot of people, when they step into their rebirth or they step into this stage of life where they want to change gears, is because they get tired of being around people who are constantly making others wrong to such a degree that it doesn't feel good in your own system. It's like a toxic diet. Do you know what I'm talking about?
It's happening right now, actually. And it's a little bit like walking up to a table and looking and seeing this like horrendous outlay of stuff that does not suit you, and you just slowly start to back away from the table. That's what's happening in my life right now. I'm backing away from all of those elements because it physically makes me sick.
And you feel so strongly that you no longer want to engage in this type of environments. You don't want to be around these types of environments, engaged like that. So strongly you feel that you have manifested already in such a short period of time a huge, like, momentous leap in your life where you are now verbally just going out and starting to share with people on air and live what it takes to say no, what it takes to say, I want to try a different lifestyle and I'm not embarrassed to do it or shy to do it or ashamed to do it. I'm going to do it. And you took it all the way to doing it live on air. Because you don't do anything small, so, you know.
No. It just didn't seem like there's any other way. It would have been dishonest to not follow that path. It was time, and I have an incredible amount of encouragement and support, and there's some boots in my back, I'll tell you, in a very positive way. People who are like, aren't you tired of waiting? This is what you're supposed to be doing.
And so you finally just surrendered to it, that you're allowed to have. So this is the beginning of the allowing yourself to receive the gifts and the bounty that you have set up for yourself. And then you can see where if you bring this bounty, this abundance, this abundant feeling, abundant thinking, you bring this into your system. Imagine you bring this bounty into your system and you allow your physical body to enjoy. Imagine bringing the word enjoyment right now into your physical body. Like, that was a foreign concept to me. To enjoy my physical body? Like, what? Like, what planet is that?
Suffering. It's been more like suffer, endure, suffer, endure.
No one ever walks around and says, I really enjoy my body. I really enjoy being in my body. I really enjoy how my body feels. That is the most foreign, other language, other planet concept. So that's a conversation I'm having with you today, is that is that okay? Like, for you and others, and is that okay to say, I enjoy my life, I enjoy my body, I enjoy my system, I enjoy the abundance that I'm creating in my life, I enjoy the abundance I'm creating in my body. I'm enjoying that my colon has spoken to me, got my attention, totally to help me change gears, told me that I'm more than who I thought I was. My colon did its job. It's not broken. There's nothing wrong with it. It's not that it's lacking, but it's actually guiding me. It is a guidance system, and it's teaching me. What do you think about that?
I think that could not be more accurate. It could not be any more accurate. I listened, and it showed up.
Right.
I paid attention, I acknowledged it, and it showed up.
Keyword, acknowledged it.
Yep.
Because it probably tried to tug at your attention for many, many, many years. It tried to get your attention, and you were like, not now, not now, not now.
And in many ways, a lot of different costumes showed up in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, to overcome it and overcompensate. Like, oh no, that's not happening. Denial, self-denial, denial that you're in pain, or denial that your colon is starting to get sluggish, thinking that it'll go away. You don't have time for it right now. And so finally it got your attention to where you have to stop. And unfortunately, this is the consciousness and the wisdom of the universe. This is why people create their dis-ease and health issues, is so that they can actually be more intimate with themselves and learn to stop. and look and smell and taste and be and feel and say, I'm here. Okay, I'm here. I got it. You're trying to communicate with me. What are you trying to say? So with this, it's, I think, a perfect time. The producers have a question for me from one of our listeners. So let's see if we could tackle this question.
Let's do it.
Okay. We have a question from Johnny. Hey, Oriah, I have a very similar condition as your guest Lisa does. I have diabetic gastroparesis for the past 4 years. I always have stomach cramps, and I do not move my bowels. In my life, I've had some emotional challenges. I lost my siblings, I was raped when I was 19, and I have not been lucky in romance. Where do you think is the best place to start to change my life around and to get healthy in both my body and my soul?
Thank you so much. Thank you for that question. Yep, he's already started. And I just want to say when you're at this state, when it's this extreme, you can instantly and quickly see the correlation to the extreme trauma. It just is a perfect match. So this was extreme trauma that you experienced in your young life or in your earlier life, and you see the direct way that you manifested it, where you stored it, where you put it into your system. And diabetes represents sugar intake. It represents balance in the thyroids. Obviously, this is where you hold in the sweetness of life, whether or not you're allowed to enjoy sweetness, because it seems all goodness was taken from you. So what happens is you manifest it into your body, you manifest it into your colon, and then it's like a slow time bomb. It's a bomb that just slowly releases, and then before long you are dealing with the shrapnel. You're dealing with the results of the pain you experienced when you were young. So this is the result. There's no question about it. So what I would say, because it is so extreme, I'm going to give you an extreme response. Kneel down and bow to the temple of the communication that is coming through your quote-unquote dis-ease in your organ that's a living tissue being full of cells, consciousness, intelligence that you are kneeling down at the temple of the communication that's coming through, speaking to you from maybe the other side, from your siblings, saying, don't do what we did. It's not your time. Don't slowly tap out of life. Find the sweetness. Is this life or death? Yes. Find the sweetness. What does that mean? Do you want to die or do you want to live? You're going to have to come to terms with that and ask yourself this question. Do you really, really want to continue this lifetime or not? If you don't, you already know the answer. If you do, you can stop everything when you surrender and bow, mentally, emotionally, and physically bow to the intelligence of the communication that is coming through your organs, through the form of diabetes and severe disorder in digesting life. It's not a disorder, but I had to say it so you understand. You're resisting and rejecting life because of how it went. Ask the colon what it's trying to say. I already know the answer was going to say. So I'll give you the quick answer, and you can ask yourself. It's saying, no one did anything wrong. You didn't do anything wrong. You chose this path for a reason. There's a great reward at the end of this if you listen. And let me guess, some of the biggest issues you have is because you're not listening. You're not listening to the sound of your own heartbeat, the sound of your own rhythm, the sound of your own desires, the sound of your own anything. You're shutting it down. You're shutting down the motor. You're shutting off your motor to life. So what's going to happen is you are going to come to a slow decline, slow stop, and eventually death. So you have to ask yourself, am I allowed to have sweetness without my sisters or my brother being here? Am I allowed to have sweetness after what has happened to me in my past? Is it too late? Do I need to continuously punish myself for what others have done to me? Do I have to continuously punish my own life and suffer for what I experienced? Or can I accept that I possibly had something to do with this at a higher level, higher intelligence, that you came here to find out something else about yourself that's deeper that you didn't know was there? And maybe this is causing you to stop. And maybe this is causing you to take a moment and dig and go deep into your heart and open yourself up again and ask yourself the question, am I allowed to be here and have love and be in my loving being? Am I allowed to have love from another? Am I allowed to be in my loving beingness? Am I allowed to experience love the way I intended, the way I came here to experience? Or do I want to give into and believe that it's over and that I cannot have it? It's at the end of the road. This is my death sentence. You're going to have to pick a team. You're going to have to make a choice because it is so severe. You're going to have to pick a team. Do I want to live or do I not want to live? And that decision has to be made very soon. So when you make your decision, and hopefully you choose to live because you're so close. If you're at this place right here, this just means you're one step away from full surrender. And what happens after that? Miracles. This is where miracles happen. You take your hands off the wheel. How can miracles happen if you're holding so tight? Nothing can get in, nothing can get out. You can't love, right, Lisa?
Gotta let.
Yes. You can't even receive love. So he has trouble in relationship because he's not receiving love. He's not giving and emanating out love. He's not saying, I'm allowed to have love. So he's not attracting love. And I am not allowed to give love because I am not loved, because I am hurt, because they did it wrong, and I didn't get a good run this time around. It wasn't a good run this time around. So I'm going to sit down and self-punish. And all you're doing is continuously hurting yourself, stabbing yourself over and over while your family members are watching you on the other side do it in pain. But they caused you to pick up the phone, or they caused you to type in, they caused you to get to this conversation, they caused you to come here and listen. They guided you here because they want you to finish off your life in glory. Glory! Amazing that we can talk about glory when someone calls in with an ailment. You're not allowed to say that in one sentence. Why not? Is that too bold? Is that too big? Are we not allowed to play this big? Are we not allowed to have life feel that good? Is it okay to not have limits? So you do not need to be subjected to your death sentence that is self-imposed. You don't have to. It's a choice. You can choose to... Yeah, you can choose to acknowledge that you came here with your own willpower to experience the life that you did for a reason. Your life is not a waste. Your life is not a waste. Every being is important and valuable. You're not a waste. So if you're on the planet right now, you're here for a reason. There's something you're here for. You don't need to have a purpose and go out there. Everybody thinks a purpose-driven life. We've gone past that. You don't have to have a purpose to be on the planet. Just be on the planet and enjoy your existence. Let's start with that. Can we just have that right now? That's where we're at. We're getting down to the nitty-gritty now. We're getting more serious as creators of our own realities, creators of our own quote-unquote destiny. We're here to experience life in its fullness. Isn't that why we were born? Isn't that what we were doing when we first started? It was full. It was abundant. It was full of freedom and love and laughter. And just because you get older and you start to have ailments, you think that it's all downhill after that. That's your own self-punishment because you don't want to acknowledge and receive and allow and say it's okay for me to have. There's nothing wrong. You did nothing wrong. But I have to be clear with you because you got to get to the bottom of it. Now you're having a wake up, a little realization that maybe it doesn't have to go this way. That little tiny seed, if you can plant that seed that it doesn't really have to go this way, start watering that seed. You can ask for help, just like you did tonight. You can ask others to support you and say, I would like to start my healing path. Make an announcement to the universe. Make an announcement to your organs. Kneel, again, I keep repeating to kneel and pray to your organs. Kneel and pray to your blood streams and your energetic systems, your nerves. Thank it. Thank yourself for having it. Without it, you'd be dead. Thank everything that is in you, existing in you and around you. It made you who you are today, and there's nothing wrong with you and nothing wrong with where you are. This is your life. This is your life to live. It's no one else's life to live. It's yours. Nowhere to look. There's nowhere to look out there to the right or to the left, right, Lisa? I know you know that one so well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's not outside
and also,
you.
I think there is an element of us needing to be convinced that we are deserved, and he is deserved, period. Mm-hmm. Without any convincing, without any examples, without any, there's no grading system. You are deserved, period.
Right.
Because you were born.
That's right. You don't need anything else, right? You don't need any evidence.
Nothing else.
You don't need to prove it. You don't need a resume. You don't need a list of reasons. You don't need to convince anyone. You don't have to tell anybody why you're here. You're here for you. And if your siblings wanted to leave the planet because their time is up, it could have been for you to find this place. Maybe they had already found it. Maybe they're going to find it in their next lifetime. Maybe they did it so you can be sparked, so you can have this, so you can get here, so you can text us and be talking to Lisa and I right now. You can have your instant reboot. It starts in 1 second. You just decide. It's yours. And start healing your body from the inside out with the love that you are. Because what else are you? If you're not loved, tell me what else you are. Is there anything else greater than that or lesser than that? It's all love. So what difference does it make? Choose love. It's the highest form. It's there anyway, but if you are 100% behind it, you just give it more power. It's an intelligent move. It's the only way to live. And lastly, I would like to say this to you, dear caller, and I'm trying to remember your name. Was it Marcus? I'm trying to remember.
It was Johnny.
Johnny, sorry. Johnny, you're not alone. You can say to me, yes, I am alone. Well, technically, biologically, yes, you came into the planet alone, you're going to die alone. So yes, of course, you've been alone your whole life. There's nothing weird about that. This is biology. But emotionally, you're not alone. How do you know that you're not alone? You don't know until you reach out to see if anybody's out there, right? Logically. Tuning in, psychically, energetically, emotionally, physically, reach out and ask, is there anybody out there? If you don't do that, what are the chances of you feeling alone? Very high. But what is the reality of you being alone? You'll never know until you find out. How are you going to really know if it's just that's the way it is, or is it a choice? So being alone, once again, is a choice. So if you feel alone, it's because you're scared or you're sad or you feel neglected or alone, but it's not reality. Because reality is there's help and love around the corner always. I know, talking to Lisa off the air, her life's mission is to teach people that there's always help and there's always people out there. There's always someone who can tell you, yes, I'm here. You're not alone. It's okay. You did a good job. You did good. It was a hard life.
You did your best.
Yes.
You did your best.
Even if no one told you, we're telling you right now. This is what human-to-human contact is. This is human-to-human contact through the radio waves. And what are radio waves? Just energy and frequency. There's no time and space. There's no distance. You feel my words. You hear me. It's your choice to receive it. That's why Lisa's here. Lisa's here. She says, I'm in. Let's go. I want to do this. I'm helping. Where do I pick up? I want to fly. Let's help people. I mean, this is like you tap somebody on the shoulder. Do you want to do this? Yes, I want to help people. Who doesn't? If you come from burnout, you can't help anyone. So you got to take care of yourself. Yeah. So we're almost done. Lisa, do you have anything to say about any topic, actually? You can say whatever you like.
I feel an enormous sense of relief, release, excitement, hopefulness. I'm optimistic. I'm skeptical. I'm interested, and I'm grateful.
That's such a
and
beautiful
I hope that any of the listeners who are so gracious and made time for us, I hope that you can feel the support system that you have in Oriah and in myself and in Thrive, because it's enormous and it's forceful and it's unwavering. And I speak for all of us. We just appreciate you being here and giving us a chance to do our dances and to share what we know and what we think and what we feel and what we're willing to try. I feel happy.
Wow. I couldn't say that better myself. I am going to leave that sentiment hanging in the air for everybody to just enjoy and eat those words of just beauty and love. And I'd like to let everybody know that if you want to contact us, there's several ways to do it. So the first way is if you would like to have a private one-on-one life coaching session with me, you can go to my website, Oriah, ORIAH, lifecoaching.com, and all the information is there for you. If you would like to listen in, I'm every other Thursday night at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Thrive Top Network. Also, if you would like to watch Lisa and I in full effect on our talk show, right now we're 2 times a month, and we are at Light Up Your World with Oriah.com. And you can also find us on Facebook, and you can watch us. So we'd love to see you there. And last but not least, if you would love to be on the show, you can come in and ask to be a guest, and you can do what Lisa so graciously exemplified tonight, is what my sessions look like and what you can achieve and what you can have for yourself if you'd like to do a 2-hour free session. And if you don't want to be on the air and you want it private, that's totally fine too. I will tackle any conversation you would like to have. It could be anything from personal issues and intimacy, fear, self-esteem, communication in public, or breaking through boundaries, or very difficult childhood. It could be addictions of any kind. It could be substance abuse. It could be divorce. It could be parenting issues, children, problems with children, or problems not knowing how to relate to children or wanting to have children. I can help you also in pregnancy. If you'd like to get pregnant, there's ways to clear your system that you can, I've helped many people get pregnant through clearing paths to freedom, so you release fear in your organs. I also am going to be creating a meditation series, and Lisa is also going to be joining in with that, and I'm really excited. She's going to be putting together also MP3s, of meditations that you can have throughout the day for different topics. That will be available next year, beginning January 2017. And so we have so many exciting things coming. It's kind of like just a massive party of heal your body, instantly rebooting, bringing light to your world, learning how to turn this ship around, learning how to bring yourself back from the dead, quote unquote, allowing yourself to rebirth, allowing yourself to feel freedom again, allowing yourself to feel relationships again, allowing yourself to even feel your body so you can feel yourself again, not be numb and checked out or hurt and disappointed to the point where you can't feel anything and you're 50 million layers away from where you would like to be. You don't have to do it that way anymore. We're here to help you. So you can take advantage of any of those opportunities. And I don't know if I'm missing anything, Lisa, but I'm sure there's more that we're going to be doing in the future, because I know we've have some really fun ideas of things we'd like to see happen, like retreats and different things like that. But that's coming up. We have a few minutes. I'm trying to see if there's anything else that I'm missing. You can. I do sessions by. Yeah, go ahead. I do sessions by email.
I was just going to suggest if there are any topics specifically perhaps that anyone has ideas for us, we're open. And I know, Oriah, that's your soft spot. You're open. You're not rigid. You're not structured in the willingness. So if we have missed something, and if Oriah, I vouch for her on that. She's open. So get in touch and add it to our long list. Feedback. We have thick skin, so let us know so we
want
can
to
be
hear
better,
it. We want
and
to
we
know
can
what can
grow.
make the show better. Yes, we want to know what can make the show better, what can be more effective, what you want to hear more of, what kind of conversations you would like to hear. We're molding our show, and both shows, but I'm also interested in covering topics that are very interesting to you too. So, and thank you, Thrive Talk Network, for our first launch of our first show, and I'm really excited. Thank you so much. And I'll be seeing everybody very soon. So until then, don't forget you're not alone. Don't forget to surrender to the temple of love within you. And you can start anytime. It's never too late. And with that, love yourself, love others, and be who you really are. Love.
Love.